Awesome. Well, good afternoon,
And
Aimie, and thank you for your time today. My name is Coach Andy O'Brien. I am the master coach and firm owner here at Action Coach Wilco. We are an executive and business coaching firm focused on guiding business owners to have the freedom to grow their business, spend time with their loved ones, and build a solid team. So my guest today is Aimie Brunner, and she is Aimie Randall with Brunner Aerospace. Aimie, thank you again for joining me today. And why don't we start with an introduction of what you do and how you got into this crazy aerospace vertical.
thank you, Andy. This is really fun. Thanks for inviting us to be here. I started with Brunner actually at its inception, which was a little bit over 7 years ago. Brunner is an aviation provider, a service disabled veteran owned small business. We're a hybrid DoD contractor and civilian service provider with about an 80-20 split there between government work and civilian work. The US military is our biggest customer. Through foreign military sales programs, we provide flight training to air forces all around the world. Foreign military sales is a contracting vehicle. We refer to it as FMS. It lets our military support and oversee training to our allied countries. So in addition to the FMS programs, we provide initial flight training, rotary wing, to the US Air Force. Right now, we have got 16 students in-house, and they're getting their first 50 flight hours. We just finished the initial class of 8. They started with us in August, finished up with us in November. And all of these students go on to follow on training at Fort Rucker.
Wow. Wow. I'd ask you who your target market is, but you just gave it all to us. That is wonderful.
Well, we go on, we provide currency and special mission training and contractor logistical support to law enforcement agencies stateside. The special mission training is aerial insertion, overwater rescue, urban environment insertion. There are a lot of skills that we train based on requirement. Our programs are fully scalable because we're really striving to meet the customer needs. And those, as you can imagine, are very unique a lot of the time. But we have unique skill sets, so it works out.
I was going to say, okay, so from a guy standpoint, you're teaching all that cool stuff that us guys, like, oh, they got real jobs, like they're men's men. So, and women but that is so cool.
Yes, I have one of the coolest jobs on the planet. There's no question about it.
Oh my gosh, that is wonderful. So tell us, what has been the biggest impact COVID had upon your business through that crazy time? Or I guess the last year, I should say.
Yeah, so actually, I would like to talk about our civilian offerings too, though, because that's a little bit more relatable, if you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely. And then
we'll talk about, that's where we kind of relate regarding our COVID response and everything. So
please do.
We offer charter and cargo services in the civilian market. So we can do anything from a short helicopter sightseeing tour around the Austin area or a cross-country charter in our Learjet. So another offering that we have is feral hog eradication from the helicopters. We have partnered with an outfitter, and this is so much fun. It's a great way that we can celebrate birthdays, bachelor parties. It's really great for that. And a lot of guys are really just checking off their bucket lists.
Oh, I am so writing that down because when I moved to Texas, a lot of my buddies are like, have you been in a hog hunt yet? I'm like, no, I hear it all the time. So that is incredible. And it sounds like a blast.
Yeah. Everybody leaves happy. I can tell you that.
Oh, absolutely. So what happened then? With your civilian part of it, what happened through COVID? Did that dry up? Were you still able to do that?
At first it did dry up. That was startling. We cleared our calendar for the first month. So we had to really look at how we were doing business like everybody did. We made all of those initial changes that were fairly obvious. We reduced our classroom capacities. We have everyone in masks. We take temperatures when you come into the facility. So one of our primary concerns was keeping the Air Force students safe, of course, as we went through that program, and being able to make people feel safe in our cockpit.
So you said about keeping them safe and bringing the students in. So what one or two actions did you have to take to keep them safe? So we talked about masks. Did you have to put any partitions up, or how did you do that? Or how did you work through that?
We did not have to partition. We did reduce our classroom capacity. Our classrooms are fairly large in size, so we reduced them by half, and that allowed for the 6 feet of social distancing. We also expanded into a second classroom so that we could still maintain same volume.
Cool, that's great.
And we started testing everyone, especially when we brought in the foreign students. They got tested when they arrived in the US.
Oh, wow. That's, it's so interesting. We always think of Austin, we think of locally based people, but with your job, I mean, you're seeing people from all over the world. That is incredible.
Yeah, it is rewarding to have these students come in. They're excited to experience the United States, and they're excited to learn their pilot skills. These are things that they wanted to do forever. And in the countries that they're coming from, this is a really big deal. In the US, we tend to take our dreams for granted, and there it is something that they've had to work very hard to achieve.
So when I look up here in Georgetown and I see these Black Hawk helicopters flying around, would that be a good assumption, or is that some of your equipment that we see flying around often?
We are flying a lot of hours right now. We're flying over 100 hours a month to get these programs done. So if you are looking up and seeing helicopters in the sky, there's a pretty good chance that they are ours.
So cool. So cool. You can tell I'm just giddy with this one. This is so cool. Yeah, we've seen the Apaches, we've seen the Blackhawks. We see a lot of them flying over, and I always just sit in absolute awe of the skill set. So thank you for what you do. So looking forward at 2021, what are your goals?
Well, we really are looking at improving our technology. That's become our primary growth initiative. So we're training our armed forces. We want to be sure that we're at the forefront of that. And any technology improvements help us to be a little bit more agile, a little more efficient. And in this industry, it really helps us to mitigate risk when we can do that.
Awesome. So what do you think is going to get in the way of you guys attaining your goals?
Well, we, of course, are a small company, and any technology improvements come with the investment in hardware and equipment. And then there is the investment in time and energy to make sure that we've researched what we're implementing, because it is not something you can back up on, and that we have taken the time to make sure that our staff is appropriately trained. So as always, it's time and dollars.
That is awesome. All right, so it has been said with all that was going on with your team there, and did you happen, or did anybody in your company, did you do any type of pivot or strategy session to change your current environment throughout COVID?
We most definitely did. That first week or two after the lockdown, we spent most of our time heads down looking at what things were going to look like going forward. We had just really started to hit our stride, but the immediate impact of COVID put us back on our heels a little bit, because travel was impacted and flight was. And even in the hog hunting, a lot of our customers are transient customers. They're coming from elsewhere. So everything changed. We worked really hard to diversify during that time, and we picked up and improved our skills in aircraft brokerage. We are licensed in that, and we had the license as our own benefit because of our own fleet requirements. And then we really developed those skills and learned to leverage that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So this is my favorite question, Aimie. And so it has been said, smart people learn from their mistakes. However, wise people learn from the mistakes of others. What mistakes have you and your partners made along the way, and how can others learn from that experience?
Well, when we started this company, it was started with a business plan that was really tailored toward expansion. We were in this high dollar market, and we came out operating like a big company. Our goal was to posture in that market and really be able to compete. And we did that for a while, and we did just fine doing that. But then we started to recognize that we are a small company, and we started to recognize that that is not a hindrance, that's a value. So once we did that, we really found our stride there. That we discovered that scale is everything. And that's why we make sure that we can always scale to our customers' needs. We really look out for the people that we do business with a lot. Those are vendors and customers and just our general support. And that has been really important to getting ourselves positioned as a small company that can grow, because the people around us are particularly important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is amazing. So, for the viewers who would like to learn more about your business, how can they find you or get in contact with you?
We are on Facebook and Instagram under Brunner Aerospace, very easy to find. And our email address, or I'm sorry, our website is www.brunneraerospace.com. Brunner is spelled Brunner.
That is excellent. And I do appreciate that because, again, spelling and pronunciation is key. So
sometimes we trip on that.
Yes. So we'd like to cap off every interview with one final question. In business today, what is most inspiring to you?
I think it's a lesson from this last year of everything simplifying, but I think the moments are inspiring. We've been looking towards these huge goals that we set, and we love moving forward toward those goals. But it's becoming more and more evident that there is a lot of value in small moments that we encounter along the way. There is one saying that is usually applied to parenting, but I'm finding that it applies to everything. And that is, take care of the moments and the years will take care of themselves.
Love it.
If we live with intention, then we live well enough to foster a legacy wherever we are.
That is wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful. Well, thank you again, Aimie, for taking time this afternoon to talk to us. Again, for all of you watching, I'm Coach Andy O'Brien with Action Coach Wilco. We guide business owners to have the freedom to grow their business every day and scale. And if you'd like to share your story, please visit us at our website of actioncoachwilco.com for more information, and our team will reach back out to you. That's all for today, folks. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye for now.
Thank you, Andy.